everybody. Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. I'm your host, Britt Madrid Mogensen. And today we are talking about Barry Keoghan and Sabrina Carpenter's breakup. Now, I know that so many people are discussing this. We are going to have to pull some cards and look at the birth charts because that's what we do around here. I did look up some birth chart placements that I think are pretty interesting because my first thought was, why now? They definitely seem like they have been a little bit rocky for a while, right? Like they've been dating for about a year and they've had some on and off moments. They've been pretty low key ever since like the please, please, please situation. Like they seemed like they were going really strong. It was kind of like in our faces. But then after that, they've sort of fallen off. And we haven't really seen a whole lot of confirmation of them together. Well, unfortunately, now they have actually broken up. And you know it's real because it was in the tabloids. I feel like when celebrities do that and it just seems like an announcement of sorts, it really is for the purposes of making sure that everyone knows that they're both single. There's a reason. I think this is like done for real this time. And I pulled up their birth charts. I just wanted to see like the timing, like why now? Why now is it finally over? Because also they could have just sort of like faded away, right? They're long distance. Okay. So first I wanted to look at Sabrina's birth chart to see like what's been going on for her, especially with the activation of Pluto moving into Aquarius from Capricorn. Like all of us are shifting right now. So I'm not surprised that she's having change. I mean, Pluto is about truth. So I think a lot of people over the next few weeks are going to be getting in touch with their truth. I just got goosebumps. So confirmation moment. Holy smokes. I think especially during Capricorn season. I don't know why. I'm just feeling that. The intuition's coming through. I think whatever we learned while Pluto was in Capricorn, it's like we're going to be seeing a new, more truthful version of ourselves. And I really do think it's going to come through in Capricorn season. Sabrina, when we look at her birth chart, first thing I notice, it just jumps right out at me, is that she has her natal Chiron in Sagittarius. And that's her wounded healer. We're in Sagittarius season right now. And there are actually a lot of other planets in Sagittarius too. So I think she has a lot going on conjunct her natal Chiron. Let me pull up the chart. So at the time of the announcement, which was December 3rd, we have the Sun and Mercury retrograde, by the way, in Sagittarius. So those are both conjunct her natal Chiron. And whatever's conjunct your natal Chiron, it's like how that wound is being activated at the moment. So fun. Sorry, Sabrina. But she's learning something important. So we can also apply this to our own birth charts. If there's ever a planet or whenever there's a planet in the zodiac sign that is the same as your Chiron, a lot of the time we'll be working through a theme that has to do with that. And if we've healed that, this can actually be a great time of us like flourishing and sharing our gifts because it is the wound that actually turns into a gift once we work on it. Okay. So for her, she currently has the sun, which is shining a light. I'm going to say also because of her age, she's pre Saturn return. So I'm going to say this might be more of a painful illumination unless, she's already worked on all of this. I get the feeling, and we're going to pull some cards, but I get the feeling because it's pre Saturn return, because Saturn return is when you kind of like solidify a lot of those lessons. And a lot of it has to do with Chiron and your North Node and your Saturn placement, all that good stuff. But for her, this is like, I feel like this is just kind of irritating the wound, okay? And that's why I think that this is coming out right now, that this breakup is coming out right now. I'm getting goosebumps for confirmation. So I think that she's really working through the themes associated with her Chiron right now. So, we're just gonna send her a big, big hug because having your Chiron in Sagittarius, when it comes to love and relationships, it's like the person that you love and care about. Maybe you don't see eye to eye. Like maybe you always choose people that don't share the same vision as you or that don't have the same like values because Sagittarius has to do with like the way that we think and our philosophy. It also has to do with travel. So it could literally be distance. So maybe for her, she experiences a lot of pain through being distant and like away from people. She is always traveling. So maybe she feels like she never has a home or roots and maybe that affects her relationships. It's hard to know very specifically because we don't know her birth time. So I don't know which house this Chiron falls in, but I know that the themes have to do with Sagittarius energy, which is, the themes of globetrotting, philosophy, fiery energy. All of that comes together to foreign countries, all that comes together to activate a certain wound in Sabrina. It's some soul lesson that she's working through. Okay. So the sun right now is shining a light on that because it's Sagittarius season, and Mercury is making her think about it. So it's like she is forced to focus on the wound right now. So I think that this is not an easy time. Also, Mercury is retrograde, so she may have already experienced something like this in the past. Could have been with Barry, or it could have been with a different person. But whatever it is, this feels very familiar. So it's probably even more frustrating. Like when it's like fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. It's like, or fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. That's the feeling I'm getting. I feel like she's just very disappointed right now. But we'll pull some cards to confirm. Other things going on in her birth chart that I think speak to the timing of this announcement. If we look at her Aquarius placements and her Leo placements, which are very important right now because Pluto just moved into Aquarius on November 19th, and it's activated a whole new cycle for us. So, wherever we have Aquarius in our birth charts, we are getting this surge of Pluto power, Pluto transformation, and Leo, because Leo is opposite Aquarius. So, the Leo placements in our chart are also going to be activated with a little bit more of a push pull. Knowing that, when we look at her birth chart, first thing that jumps out to me, she has her North Node in Leo. So Pluto is now opposite her North Node, pushing her to be truthful so that she can reach her life purpose. So I feel like anytime she's like lied to herself, Chiron and Sagittarius, this can be like the big ideas are like overly optimistic. Sagittarius is associated with Jupiter and like optimism, and maybe little white lies to yourself, things that just like make you feel better that aren't true. I feel like Pluto is making her get really honest. And in order to reach and continue to climb towards and, just keep moving up and up, that Leo North Node, which is fame, shining bright, being on stage, being famous, like all the stuff that she's doing with her career, in order to reach that and continue to grow, she cannot take anything with her that isn't truthful and authentic. Like she can't tell herself little white lies anymore, if that's what she was doing. This opposition to her North Node, I think, has made her get really serious. Now, if we look at, let me see, her other placements, she has Uranus in Aquarius and Neptune in Aquarius. Okay, so Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, so it's very creative. So she has Pluto now like just right there with her natal Neptune. So she's going to be even more creative. We're going to see her. I think this is like so good for her career. Like this opposition, even it's going to push her. And Neptune, wow, right there with Pluto, that's going to push her. But she has to be very careful that she doesn't get lost in the sauce a little bit. I would say she's going to really need to stay leaning on that Taurus sun energy that she has, and she has Mercury in Taurus too. So, and Saturn in Taurus. So, as long as she stays grounded, she's going to be good. I think that's why she had to drop Barry though. And I'm going to go ahead and say before we even pull the cards, I think it was her because her birth chart is talking about her needing to be grounded, her moving towards her purpose in an even bigger way now over the next 20 years. This is go time for her. I mean, we've seen a little bit. I think we're going to see even more. This was just a taste this year. So, which is a song of hers, by the way, confirmation, little God wink. But it's important. It's important that she drops the BS. Also, I just saw this. Oh my God, you guys, her natal Pluto, death and rebirth, transformation, the Phoenix rising, is conjunct her Chiron. She has Pluto in Sagittarius as well as Chiron in Sagittarius in her natal chart. Okay, so Sagittarius season is a time of transformation for her. Big time. Oh man, and having Pluto conjunct your Chiron, that is really intense. That is intense. She is walking through the fire right now. She's going to rise victorious. Come Capricorn season, we are going to see her shining like the beautiful ice queen that she is. Maybe she's even getting more musical inspiration right now. Maybe what she's getting inspired to sing about in this moment that she's in is what's going to take her to that even bigger next level of fame, Leo North Node, opposite Pluto right now. Like, there she's gonna use this. She's gonna use this pain and turn it into, like, just that next level. Like, it's gonna be so good, you guys. This is really crazy. I can't wait to pull some cards on this. I am sorry that she's going through this, but dang, it's gonna be good for her at the end of the day. Okay, so also Uranus, she has Uranus in Aquarius along with Neptune. So Uranus and Neptune together. I mean, this is like things that are surprising, things that shake you up, change, but also innovation. Uranus is at home in Aquarius, so she is someone that can utilize technology. I think she's gonna thrive in the digital era. Like, I know we're in the digital era, but, like, as we get, like, more into, like, AI and, like, all these other things with Pluto and Aquarius, oh my god, and my hair looks crazy, you guys. I didn't blow dry it. It's been a busy day, okay? The sun the moon is in my 12th house today. That's a whole whole 'nother topic I can't wait to get into with you guys on another episode. I can barely talk. But we will put this podcast out there, damn it. Even if it's unedited. Bear with me. Sometimes it's messy, but we're putting it out there. Okay, what was I saying? So anyway, surprising things. This is a time where, with Pluto conjunct her natal Uranus and Neptune. I mean, this next 20 years is going to be a time where she's going to be innovating, changing, surprising us, surprising herself, and reaching new heights of creativity. Okay. But when you're trying to do that, sometimes you got to drop the dead weight. And there's some sort of lesson having to do with Sagittarian themes. And sometimes Sagittarius is like that untamable person. It's like, please, please, please. Like, I feel like she knew. Oh my God. Okay. Now, if we look at Barry Keoghan's chart, you guys buckle up. Pluto moved from Capricorn into Aquarius November 19th. Well, while Pluto was in Capricorn, it was conjunct his natal Uranus and Neptune, which is where Sabrina's at right now. Okay. Interesting. It's like they passed the torch. This is interesting. I definitely think they were meant to learn a soul lesson together. Also, his Chiron is on her north node. His Chiron is in Leo, and his north node is in Sagittarius. So her Chiron is on his north node. Wow. Okay, this is crazy, guys. They were meant to break each other down. So don't listen to any of the tabloids that say that this was like a casual relationship. This relationship broke them down. It's like a karmic situation in order for them to both be built back up. Chiron, it's like activated their greatest wound in order to learn the soul lesson that they're meant to learn. Like both had the key to help the other learn this soul lesson that they came here to learn. If they embrace it, if they actually learn it, they will both push each other towards their respective north nodes. Wow. Oh my God, you guys, this is crazy. Okay, interesting. So his Saturn is in Aquarius. That means that Pluto is now conjunct his natal Saturn. So he just went from a period where he was innovating and like reaching new heights of creativity and exploring different sides of himself. And I think growing and changing and learning. And now he is meant to decide like who he wants to be and work towards that. This is all about being solid and stable. With Saturn in Aquarius and Pluto activating your natal Saturn, it's like Pluto and Saturn, it's like change through hard work. He has a reputation for drinking a lot. Like this would be the time where maybe he's going to finally get sober or I don't know, like started a daily routine or make commitments in his life that he's never made before. And I'm getting goosebumps. It seems to me like there's something about this time period, this handoff with Sabrina Carpenter because of their placements, that conjunction between the North Node and Chiron, someone's destiny and their greatest wound, like the fact that they both have that with each other, that's insane. I mean, this is like the definition of a karmic relationship, a soul connection, whatever you want to call it. I just think that this is very significant. So something's going on here. They're activating some sort of change that the other needs. Let's pull some cards. Let's see what's going on then. Let's get to the bottom of this. Sometimes there are certain things only the tarot T can tell you. All right, so let's do a little tarot about the astrology. I don't know that I've ever done it in this way before, and I'm excited to try it. So when it comes to Sabrina Carpenter's natal Chiron in Sagittarius, and that being conjunct, ooh, the cards are flying. All right, I think the cards are liking this. Holy smokes, are liking the connection with the astrology. Okay. Sabrina Carpenter's natal Chiron in Sagittarius conjunct Mary Keoghan's natal North Node in Sagittarius. What lesson came through for Sabrina via that connection, I guess? Her natal Chiron and his North Node in Sagittarius. What lesson did Sabrina learn? Like, what was activated for her? What Chiron soul lesson? Okay. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This is very interesting. This is about the temptations that come with Sagittarius energy of becoming ungrounded, fiery excitement. Wow. So I would say that this Chiron wound for Sabrina has to do with the Sagittarian tendency to get carried away, have these big visions, big ideas, and to get to where you're traveling like all the time from place to place. But when you do that, it's like you never really have to be accountable, like, you're always just going to the next place. It's like things are always light and breezy, and you're not really finishing things that you start on some level. And when it comes to work and building something that you really want to build, that takes dedication over time, which she has done that. But I think that the Chiron wound is that she has to be careful that someone who is very Sagittarian in nature, like Barry with his North Node in Sagittarius, that this person doesn't get her to, become carried away and forget what's important to her. She has to stay grounded in herself and continue to work for what she wants. She can't get distracted. That is the one downfall of Sagittarius. It's such a fun zodiac sign, but any Sagittarius will tell you, and if you know Sagittarius people, you know this is true. The one bad thing is that they can sometimes be unreliable because they're on to the next thing. They're a fire sign. And sometimes a Sagittarian can like paint this beautiful picture, this optimistic Jupiter picture for life, and then really not have what it takes to back it up. Right. So there's a danger of that with dark Sagittarius energy. So I would say this Eight of Pentacles in reverse is about that. She was reminded that the truth is the truth. Um, she has to stay true to herself, true to what she wants to do, and the right person is going to be right there beside her. Eight of Pentacles. This is owning your power. This is staying in your own power, not getting distracted, looking at what's concrete, looking at what is real, what is committed. Pentacles, earth energy, and continuing to work towards what you want and continuing to stay focused. Don't let the dreams, the big adventures, and maybe even the sweet nothings that someone's telling you, don't let that distract you from what you are here to do, which is Leo North Node energy. She's here to continue to work and to build this for herself. And the right person will be attracted to her. And I mean, she's Leo. She's like this, she's the sun. The right person will orbit around her, not the other way around. Okay. Interesting. That makes so much sense though. Oh my God. So for Barry Keoghan, wow, when the tarot teacher's just talking. Okay. So for Barry Keoghan, oh, already jumping around. He has his natal Chiron in Leo. So what about this relationship with Sabrina Carpenter and his Chiron being conjunct her North Node? What about this connection? Oh my God. I dropped these cards and I'm going to take them because they like flew out of the deck. But what I was asking was, what about this connection? What activated his Chiron and Leo? And how is that teaching him some sort of lesson that he needs to reach his Sagittarius North Node? And here's what we have: King of Wands. And I think I've gotten this for him before. And we had the Six of Cups. The fact that these two fell out is nuts. You guys, give me a break. Okay, so I need a clarifier because this could really be interpreted a couple of different ways. One way that I could interpret this is him being like, a philanderer, basically, like having a relationship with a woman that is like someone that is a Six of Cups. This is like a soulmate relationship, someone that he's in love with and it being just like this wonderful relationship, but still being the King of Wands anyway, and being in his little Sagittarius energy, traveling across the world, and it's like out of sight, out of mind, and maybe hooking up with other women like in Ireland where he's been. Okay. That's one way. The other way I could interpret this is that the way I was talking about with Sabrina Carpenter becoming distracted, it's like he might be a person, King of Wands, that makes big promises and is very much wanting to be able to have this Six of Cups energy with her. But at the end of the day, his Chiron in Leo, he's driven to work in an industry that Sagittarius North Node is always going to keep him traveling in some weird way singular, because he's got one job this week, next week a different job, and that Leo, that fame element can sometimes feel wounding to him because it's like he can't really be settled. It has something to do with one of those. Let's get a clarifier. What part of this is the Chiron in Leo, please? Barry's Chiron and Leo. What part of this is Barry's Chiron and Leo? Seven of Swords. Ugh, it's the first one. I was hoping listen, I was willing to give the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, Seven of Swords, never mind. It's about sneaking around. I think that this is really crappy, but it's like he has a Six of Cups, or he had a Six of Cups type of person. And unfortunately, even though he could see the vision, I think he did make big promises. I think he was very excited about her King of Wands. But at the end of the day, I think that he just was like, I don't know, the fame and all of that. It's a classic story. He just King of Wands, too close to the sun. He was with other people, allegedly for entertainment purposes, sneaking around, Seven of Swords. I mean, this is literally sneaking around, writing this like messages behind her back, like texting and all that stuff. I wouldn't even be surprised if she like saw something, like someone sent her a message, like a hey girly text. Like this is really, really lame. And I think that he has been a distraction for her for a while. Now she's still been doing amazing and very successful, but it's like I have so many goosebumps right now, you guys. Can you see them? It's crazy. She is in a place in her life where she is being encouraged by the universe to choose herself. That's how she's healing this Sagittarius wound. It's like, no, this Chiron and Sagittarius wound. It's like, no, you are the optimistic one. Like, you don't need someone else to bring that excitement into your life. Like, you are reaching that North Node in Leo. You are a star. You're working hard. You're powerful. You're having fun. Eight of Pentacles. You're living your dream. And you get to do all these things. Don't let someone come into your life with these big promises that unfortunately you feel a soulmate connection with. So, Six of Cups, I mean, this is had to hurt, I'll tell you. It had to hurt, but he's sneaking around, and this is dark Sagittarius. He is not exactly the person that you know, that he claims to be, or he is the person he claims to be, but it's not committed, and it's a distraction. Okay, a distraction. Wow. The bottom of the deck, what we don't see, this is so sad with Sabrina Carpenter, Four of Cups. Man, when the tarot tea is just like dead on, this is crazy. Four of Cups, this might be more that Sagittarius energy. Okay, so one thing about Chiron is it can manifest in multiple ways. And I do like talking about the different ways that it can manifest because it's interesting also to apply to like your birth chart and people that you know. So one thing about Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is also about our belief system and like your philosophy on life and like the way that you look at things, Sagittarius is associated with the ninth house of like travel long distances and philosophy, like the way you see the world, the type of thoughts that you have. Like, are you more of an optimist or a pessimist? Like, and we all have these like frameworks for the way that we think, right? And for her, this is so interesting because this is a Four of Cups. So this is about like stable emotions, but like disappointment. I wonder if she's working through some sort of mindset as well when it comes to love and relationships. I think she's been through a lot of disappointment in love. And there's this cup right behind her, and I think that the universe is pushing her to stop some of these patterns. It's this pattern of falling for people that do this. I feel like there and that sounds weird. It's like a pattern of like maybe it's a pattern of being overly optimistic in love or overly pessimistic in love, but there's something about her mindset when it comes to love and relationships that keeps shooting her in the foot. And this one is like the one that's going to break through. This is the relationship, this is the disappointment that's finally going to be like, okay, she's going to have her like aha moment and it's going to propel her forward. Let's do past, present, future for Barry and Sabrina before we go. I just dropped a card. So we are going to take this as the past position. 10 of Pentacles. When they first met, it was all about the optimism and the fame and the fun. And that's true. I think they definitely met through or they did meet at like through the industry at a party. They've talked about this and it was fun. People just like loved seeing them together. I think that oh, that's kind of sad. Like when I think back, it's like he was just in Saltburn. It was like his kind of big breakthrough moment. He was like the it guy. She was like the it girl. I mean, she still is, but she was having her breakthrough moment. I feel like they were both in this like kind of the same place where it was just really fun for them to hang out together because it's like hang out with someone who's going through what you're going through. And that just so happened to be extreme abundance. So, okay. Okay. That sounds fun. All right. Past the present. What about the present? What's going on for them in the present? Well, we know, but let's see what the cards say. Yeah. 7 of Wands. Dang. It was his fault. He's the king of wands and it created the 7 of wands. You know how I said like could be like a text or something or something she saw or found out that he was like with other people or whatever. This just confirms that. So 7 of wands, this is one person and look at all these wands competing for their attention. The tarot tea is just like coming through with that alleged for entertainment purposes only tarot tea truth. Yeah. So 7 of wands, like him, dang, you know what stinks too? Is this is like him already moving on. I feel like he may already have somebody that he's with. Whether or not that comes out right now, hopefully it's not going to come out like right away, but I think he might have been dating a few people. But I also think this is talking about how that was a catalyst to their like actual breakup. I think she found out because he was being sneaky with that 7 of swords there. He wanted to have his cake and eat it too, 6 of cups. Ugh, okay. And she had just the Chiron placement to bring him down. So there you go. What about the future? The high priestess. Okay, nice. Spiritual growth, lessons learned, seeing things from a higher perspective. This is definitely Sabrina. And I like this because we have Neptune being activated, Uranus being activated for her. I think that this is going to propel her forward. And I think that this has also added a lot of maturity and just, it's one of those life lessons that you learn. And it's like, it changes your perspective on things, and I think that this is going to help her to be even more creative, more intuitive. Yeah, at the end of the day, this was an important life lesson for her, and I do think that she is going to use this in a positive way. Okay, what about for Barry? 2 of Pentacles, still balancing. Oh my, it's gonna take him a little longer. It's gonna take him a little longer. I also see that he could be having some financial issues in the future. Yeah, for him, I think that he's on this path of learning about balance in general, whether that is, balance in his personal life, his professional life. I think that he has had a really, I do think he's had kind of a difficult life. It's sad, like some of the things you hear about his childhood, and I don't think he's a bad person, but I do think he has a lot of things that he has to learn to balance out in order to be happy and healthy and successful. And, I know we all wish that for him and for everybody. So hopefully he does find this balance, but I do see this can continue to be a journey for him. Anything else? The Hierophant. Okay. This is a card of a lesson, a teacher. So, yeah, this relationship was a teacher. So that's confirmation that this was an important life lesson. I do not think that they will get back together. I think that this lesson has been learned. It was necessary, and I do think that they are both going to be better for it. But yeah, I think that there was a lot more to the story in terms of the feelings and emotions that unfolded behind the scenes. So that makes me a little bit sad, but now we know. And the good news is it looks like they are both going to be moving forward. And I can't wait for the breakup album from Sabrina. It's going to be so good. She's great with those types of songs. I think she's going to do some more insightful songs about being empowered and maybe talking about what happened. You never know with Sabrina. She's gonna put it out there though. All right, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for listening. I will see you in another episode next week. You're the best. I'll talk to you soon.